Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking an absolute masterclass in the historical thriller genre. We're talking about Errol B. Abai's explosive novel series featuring the one and only Eren Dervish. Now, this isn't just your standard breakdown of a couple of books. No, it's a deep dive into an intricately woven universe that perfectly blends ancient archaeological theories with high-stakes modern espionage. So, if you love a giant puzzle that spans literally millennia, well, you are definitely in the right place. Let's get right into it.
Picture this. It's the dead of night in Palestine. Out of nowhere, a terrifying dog-headed figure, looking exactly like the ancient Egyptian god Anubis, breaks into a heavily guarded tomb in Nablus. With just a single blow, he neutralizes a guard, hoists up this incredibly heavy stone sarcophagus lid, and steals a priceless mummy, claiming he's taking it back to the underworld. Crazy, right? Meanwhile, across ancient ruins in Turkey, shadowy terrorists are planting high-tech bombs. And the thing is, these aren't isolated incidents. They're actually the opening moves in a deadly, thousands-year-old war over history's absolute greatest secrets. And that wild setup brings us to our source material for today: Return of the Ark and Stolen Head. These are the first two novels in the Eren Dervish series by Errol B. Abai. What makes these books so incredibly compelling isn't just the action, though there's plenty of that. It's how they brilliantly fuse deep religious and archaeological analysis with relentless, action-packed conspiracies. We're talking about deciphering ancient texts one minute and dodging bullets from Mossad agents and Vatican assassins the next. Section 1. The Eren Dervish Enigma. To really understand how these ancient mysteries are unraveled, we've got to understand our unlikely hero. Thrust completely by accident into this terrifying world of Vatican cults and ruthless intelligence agencies, Eren Dervish isn't your standard gun-toting action guy. Actually, he's a brilliant computer engineer. When he's faced with a locked digital file containing a dead professor's secrets, he doesn't just guess randomly. Instead, he deduces that a biblical scholar would use a password like Azazel, the fallen archangel. He literally treats ancient myths as datasets, using pure analytical logic to crack religious codes that have baffled humanity for centuries. It's brilliant. Section 2. Decoding the Ark's location. So this search kicks off with incredibly high stakes. We've got a murdered, renowned archaeologist, 5 high-tech bombs smuggled into Turkey by terrorists, and poor Eren caught right in the crossfire. Consider how he applies his analytical brain to the clues left behind. He examines the bodies of dead terrorists who had these very specific tattoos on their arms: Ved, Suva, Yegis, Yuk, and Nesser. He maps these exact names to ancient idols from the time of Noah, and then cross-references them with the modern geographical locations where the bodies were actually found, like Göbekli Tepe and Ilieza's tomb. He is literally decoding a map drawn in blood and ink. By following the dead professor's digital breadcrumbs, Eren starts reconstructing a massive geological and historical event. He's looking at evidence of a huge tsunami from the Berkel crater reaching all the way to southeastern Turkey, plus the surprisingly high salt content in Mesopotamian soil. He even identifies the biblical gopher wood as Lebanese cedar. All of this data-driven analysis leads to a pretty shocking conclusion. The traditional, widely accepted locations for Noah's Ark, like Mount Ararat and Mount Kuti, are actually just decoys, hiding a much, much larger secret. Section 3. The Secret of Urfa Paso. This data-driven investigation leads Eren away from those freezing, snow-capped mountains and directly into the heart of modern-day Turkey, culminating in a jaw-dropping realization: Noah's Ark isn't lost on some distant peak. He connects the ancient city of where the Ark was supposedly built, to the modern city of Urfa, which translates to New kind of like New York. The Ark didn't just land, an entire city was built around it, and the ship itself is buried right beneath Urfa Castle. And this brilliantly illustrates the geographical engineering at play here. Think about this comparison. Right next to the castle is Baliki Lake, a sacred pool where hunting is eternally forbidden. Eren deduces that the lake's specific dimensions, 150 by 25, make it an exact miniature model of the Ark itself. It beautifully represents a sanctuary of protected life. And that massive resting place beneath Urfa Castle, it's been secretly protected for centuries by a local family with the surname Dizdar, which literally translates to castle guard. Talk about hiding in plain sight. Section 4. The Stolen Mummy Mystery. Just as we're wrapping our heads around an ancient ship buried under a modern city, the second book, Stolen Head, throws us into a completely new, terrifying mystery. We get pulled right back to that chilling cold open we talked about earlier, a horrifying clash between modern military presence and ancient Egyptian ritualism. Anubis isn't just a myth here, it's a highly specialized operative stealing a body initially believed to be the prophet Joseph, which obviously sparks a violently explosive international incident. The danger reignites for Eren in a big way when he receives a seriously macabre package in the mail. It's a severed, mummified head sent by an old friend and archaeologist named Hassan, who tragically has just been murdered. But alongside the head is a visionary encryption disk. So once again, Eren has to rely on his computer engineering background to tackle analog historical cryptography, and he has to do it fast before the assassins catch up to him. So how exactly does he solve this under such intense pressure? Well, first, he examines the grid. Using a specific keyword related to his and Hassan's shared past, he carefully aligns the letters on the Vigenère disk. The cipher suddenly translates these seemingly random letters, BSK and ULVR, into English. The final, desperate message from his dead friend is revealed as just 2 words, "Save Diary." And this diary holds the key to exactly why people are actively dying over ancient bones. Section 5. Unmasking Moses' Pharaohs. This decrypted diary introduces the series' most controversial theory, and honestly, it challenges everything we thought we knew about the Book of Exodus and the story of Moses. The traditional timeline of Moses clashing with just one single pharaoh, it just doesn't historically align. Eren realizes that Moses' incredibly long life actually spanned across 4 different pharaohs. Let that sink in. He was placed in the basket during the reign of Nefertiti or Tutankhamun. He escaped to Midian under Horemheb. He led the Exodus against Seti I, and he spent the rest of his life wandering the desert during the reign of Ramesses II. But wait, there is a major missing piece in this royal puzzle, and that is Pharaoh Akhenaten. He introduced Aten, a strictly monotheistic religion, into a deeply polytheistic Egypt. As pointed out in the explainer, even Sigmund Freud hypothesized a connection between Akhenaten's monotheism and Moses. This historical anomaly, this one specific pharaoh's religious revolution, turns out to be the ultimate hidden motive behind all the modern-day murders. And here comes the massive plot twist regarding the true identity of that stolen body. The mummy ripped from the tomb in Nablus, it was absolutely not the prophet Joseph. It was actually the heretic monotheistic pharaoh, Akhenaten. This entire theft was a highly covert, religiously motivated operation designed to humiliate Akhenaten's corpse in the afterlife. How? By permanently placing it directly at the feet of his mortal polytheistic enemy, Seti I, inside his hidden temple at Abydos. Now that is some serious ancient grudges at play. Section 6. The Never-Ending Historical War. So you've got to ask, who possesses the sheer power and funds to orchestrate a high-tech, violent chase for antiquities across multiple countries today? Well, we are witnessing a massive clash between 2 immensely powerful, shadowy factions. On one side, you have the Serapis cult. These are Vatican-aligned, modern descendants of ancient Egyptian priests using their immense wealth to exact ancient revenge on monotheists. And on the exact opposite side, the Beni Asseni, radical Jewish sects deploying Mossad-level espionage to reclaim their ancestors' history in Egypt. They are literally weaponizing modern intelligence agencies to fight a thousands-year-old theological war. Listen to this absolutely dramatic confession from Bishop Stefano of the Serapist cult. He says, "Every strong one becomes weak. We shot them with their own weapons. We took the opportunity to use Hassan's find against them." It makes it abundantly clear that in this crazy historical crossfire, neither side is innocent. They are both more than willing to shed modern blood to settle ancient scores. And just when you think Eren has finally survived this entire ordeal and presented his findings to the world, the Shadow World pulls him right back in. Literally right after his massive presentation, he's approached by a man who forces a handshake and introduces himself as David from Mossad, casually mentioning that they need his help. Surviving this mystery only pulls Eren deeper into an international web of secrets. So what should we really take away from this explainer today? Well, first, ancient mysteries often require modern analytical thinking to solve. You kind of need a computer engineer's logic to crack a pharaoh cipher, right? Second, history isn't just dead and in the past. It is a continuous and visible battlefield between secret ideologies. And finally, the greatest religious artifacts might not actually be lost to the dust of time, they might just be heavily guarded by those who already know the truth. Which leaves us with one final, very provocative thought. If modern secret societies, backed by international intelligence agencies, are still willing to bomb cities and kill over the bones of ancient pharaohs, what other world-changing truths are currently buried right beneath our feet, just waiting for someone like Eren Dervish to dig them up? Definitely think about that, and I highly encourage you to explore these incredible mysteries yourself. Thanks for joining.